For decades, a real-time language decoding device was strictly science fiction. Today, the universal translator is a standard feature on most modern smartphones. Despite massive leaps in global transit and digital communication, standing in a foreign city unable to speak the local language remains one of the highest friction points of human interaction. Apple finally entered this space in late 2025 by launching a native live translation feature built directly into the iPhone. But accessing this feature requires clearing a steep hardware hurdle. First, you need a brand new iPhone capable of running Apple Intelligence. Then comes the audio requirement. The system demands specific premium hardware, specifically a pair of AirPods 4 or the latest generation of AirPods Pro. This specific hardware mandate actively shuts out millions of users. If you rely on standard wired earbuds or a third-party pair of Bluetooth headphones, the native translation simply will not work. The technology to instantly decode speech exists today. However, Apple's specific ecosystem requirements mean this utility is currently restricted to users who own the latest high-end devices and accessories. Google answered this hardware restriction with an aggressive software play, expanding its own Live Translate feature directly onto the iOS platform. The setup requires almost zero friction. A user only needs to download the free Google Translate app from the App Store. The core advantage here is compatibility. Google's version works seamlessly with any pair of wireless headphones connected to that iPhone. Once inside the app, you simply tap Live Translate and select either listening or conversation mode to start processing audio instantly. It launches with massive linguistic reach, supporting real-time translation for over 70 different languages right out of the gate. Google circumvented the entire premium device ecosystem. They expanded access by making the specific hardware choice irrelevant to the translation process. This raises a structural question. If Apple needs dedicated local processing chips to run translation, how is Google executing complex audio decoding on an iPhone without tapping into that same proprietary hardware? This diagram illustrates the two competing architectural approaches. Apple handles everything internally, relying entirely on local on-device processing. Google takes the opposite route. The Translate app captures the incoming audio, routes it out of the phone, and sends it directly to Google's cloud servers. By offloading the work to remote servers, Google taps into massive computational power that no single mobile chip can match, allowing it to translate entire sentences instantly. That processing surplus is what allows the system to preserve the speaker's original tone and cadence. Instead of generating flat, robotic speech, it maintains the natural rhythm of the human voice. But this architecture demands a strict compromise. To make this work, your raw audio data must physically leave the privacy of your iPhone to be processed on an external server. Consumers are left weighing two distinct paths. You can secure absolute data privacy behind a $250 hardware paywall, or you can get universal, hardware-agnostic access by subsidizing the process with your cloud data. Google is heavily pushing this cloud-based capability across major international markets. The feature is expanding for iOS and Android across Europe and Asia, arriving in France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Spain, Thailand, and the UK. In a passive environmental context, a traveler can walk through a crowded transit hub and instantly understand foreign train announcements or ambient safety warnings without ever looking at a screen. For active engagement, users can ask for local recommendations and converse with fellow travelers while actually hearing the inflection and mood of the city. The application scales down to highly intimate settings as well, like sitting at a fast-paced dinner table with relatives who are speaking fluent Punjabi. Because the software captures the exact timing of the speech, users can keep up with rapid-fire conversations and actually land the punchline of a joke rather than waiting for a delayed text translation. The ability to decode the world around you no longer requires the latest premium release from a tech giant. It only requires the standard wireless earbuds you already have sitting in your pocket.